Some people fail in relationships. They repeat and they do it over and over and over again. Today I'm going to talk about why and some simple things you can do to get rid of this issue in your life. Hey, it's Anthony Trucks, and welcome to my Hump Day Hustle. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, subscribe on YouTube. You can visit me at anthonytrucks.com. But today I want to get into something simple. By the end of this video, you're going to have some information that can help you in your relationship, which is key because relationships are part of our lives. If you don't know, I have a very interesting backstory with my relationship. I was with my high school sweetheart for many years, had 3 kids. We were married and life was great, and then things kind of went a little bit awry. She ended up having an affair and life went awry, like in a way that I really did not ever expect it could be, but life happens, these things happen. It took me to a really dark place, a place to where I did not want to be here anymore on this planet. And all of that having happened, I have now got to a place in my life where I'm now back with her, and there are some things that have changed massively to make that a reality and something that's possible, and I'm going to teach you what those are as we go through this video. So let's get started. The first thing, relationships all have a natural curve. Now, all relationships have these intros where you have this puppy love phase, and honestly, puppy love is huge. You have to have that puppy love phase because when things get tough later on, I didn't say if, I said when they get tough later on, you want to be able to look back on these times in your life because those are the times when you need to be remembering what you're fighting for. You remember the things you're fighting for is great. Now, that being said, the puppy love phase kind of when everybody starts out fresh, it's new, and your juices are flowing, your heart's beating, you just want to talk to the person, you're waiting for their text message, waiting for their phone calls, you can't wait to see them, right? That feeling is just, it's huge and it's massive. And then after years and years, you get a little bit easy on it, you get a little more complacent, you don't do the exact same things you used to do. And what happens, that curve goes from being puppy love and it spikes and it goes high and everything's great, and then it starts to climb back down. And now what happens, people get to this side of it, and what they don't realize is you have to work to keep it up high. Over here, what you're looking for is puppy love. Again, you're looking for that same, vibrant experience. So what happens is you don't have it with your partner, and you go looking for other places. Or you fight a lot, and eventually break up. So idea is to realize that this person you have here needs to do a lot of work when they get to here. It can't be the exact same person because you don't know each other. You don't know what they like, what they don't like. You're learning faults, you're learning positive things, and over here, when you learn all those, you got to kind of shift and modify to work in your relationship. That's where the work takes place. What do you accept? What do you not accept? What do you add to the relationship? And kind of what do you kind of gain over time that makes you want to stay in this relationship in the first place? Which will lead us directly into the next point. Now, the next thing is there are some simple words that will ruin a relationship. It's all their fault. Now, for me, I got to a point in my own relationship where I thought it was all her fault. And it's tough for a lot of people to accept this, but as a man, I pushed my wife to a position where she needed to make a decision. Wrong decision, but somehow between the two of us, we got to that place. Now, what happened is for a long time was all her fault. It was never me, it wasn't my fault. And this happens for men and women, no matter what it is. It could be some arguments you have. Whenever you say it's all their fault, you never stop to think about the things that you could be aiding to make that decision take place. Whatever fault they have, whatever they're doing, there are parts of the relationship that hinder upon your actions that in fact reflect what happens to the other person. So you need to step back and say, reality is, there are some things that I can work on with myself to help better the relationship, to be able to get what I need. Because this leads into the negative aspect of what I call the distant and an Andy. Now, when I say distant or paranoid, the distant and an Andy think, well, I'm back here, I'm perfect. You're just oblivious, honestly. So you're oblivious to what's going on, and it makes you feel as though you're alone in the relationship. It makes you feel as though the other person doesn't understand you, and then you start to create that wedge that sits there and never moves. So if you're that paranoid person, you're that angry person, or you're just oblivious to what's going on around you, not realizing that you're not perfect, which is a big thing. You're not perfect. That's the biggest reality for me, is we all think we're doing things right, everything's perfect, but we're not perfect. And when we realize that we're not perfect and that we can improve, we do so much better. There's a saying I heard is, the biggest room in the world is a room for improvement. So start working on yourself. The next thing is you have to give to get in a relationship. A lot of people, what they do is they get in arguments, right? You're going back and forth. I need you to do this, and you should do this. And it's should and need to. It forces a person to have to feel like they have to do it. When they have that feeling, I mean, think about yourself. When someone tells you you have to do something, do you want to do it? Like, no, you don't want to do it. It's a natural feeling. So the thing is, if you think about that for your partner, when you're talking back and forth, step in for a second and think about, what is it that I could give to this person, even though I don't want to? Like, there are things I do not want to do. And a lot of people don't. I bite my tongue, and I do it because I realize that if I give to this person openly without them expecting it, they know what I want because I've yelled at them a bunch of times. They understand what I've yelled at them that I want done, but they'll actually get to the feeling of wanting to give it back. So when I stop the pattern and give, instead of trying to yell all day, give what they need, they'll naturally give it back. And it creates a good synergistic cycle of giving to get. Then we get to the next phase. This is the funny one is, well, I don't love my partner anymore. I'm not in love. What should I do? The answer, love. Now you're like, what does that mean? I don't have the love feeling. It's right. You usually don't have the love feeling. Like, I didn't have the love feeling getting back into what I'm into right now, honestly. But the reality is, I love as a verb, as an action. See, feelings, they happen with action. If I come and punch you in your face for some odd reason, you don't love me. That's just a reality. But if I come up and I caress and I love you, you start to have this loving feeling. So the reality is, when you get to that situation where you really don't love your partner, you gotta love your partner. Put effort, invest yourself the way you used to in puppy dog love phase, whatever it was. Put that kind of effort in, and you'd be surprised how the feelings spring up, how you feel happy. You look at the same person in a different light. There's a saying is, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Same kind of capacity of a word. It makes the exact same sense to me, hopefully to you, but the more you give out, the more you'll give in. So love somebody, love with yourself to help establish that feeling. Then our last point, the most critical one, I don't care who you are, what you're doing, if you don't take note of this, you don't even listen to the whole thing I'm telling you. Like, this is the most important one. You have to communicate. And what's communication, Anthony? What does that mean? I hear it all the time. Talk. Like, literally say everything on your heart and mind. I don't care if it's going to start a fight. I don't care if it's going to make them mad. Like, it doesn't honestly matter. If you don't communicate it, what happens is it seeds, it grows, it festers into something negative and something bad. And the reality is, you can't be mad at a person for not stopping doing something or starting doing something, because you essentially want this person to be who you want them to be for you. But if you never communicate who that person needs to be for you, you'll have no idea who to be. You'll be mad at them, they won't know why. They won't fix things, and you'll think it's their fault, but reality is they don't know what they're supposed to fix. You gotta communicate that. So talk, because realistically, if you don't talk and then get them to understand what you need done or changed, every moment that is spent with them doing the same things is your fault. Doing the same things is your fault. You have no one to blame but yourself because you're not communicating. So bite your tongue. I remember so many times I was sitting in bed and like I wanted to say something, but I kept biting my tongue, and it was so hard to get it out, and I just didn't. And it would become a big fight. At this point now, I say what's on my mind, not rude or disrespectful, but I say what's on my mind and heart. It's a massive benefit to the relationship. It allows us both to grow and allows a relationship to blossom to be what a real love at the far side of puppy love is, which is a strong, enduring partnership, friendship that is like the way that you can't really describe what love is, but it's a true love. So that's it. That's my hump day hustle for today. Make sure you recap all these steps and use them in your relationship. If you're going through a fight right now, I challenge you to step in and see where you can make adjustments. What do you got to work on to be a better husband, a better wife, better girlfriend, better boyfriend, whatever it may be? What do you got to do to be better? Find out what it is and do it. As always, make sure you follow me on YouTube by clicking the link you see. You can go visit my website, anthonytrucks.com. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter. What else is there? Facebook, if you haven't done that yet. And that's it. If you have any questions, by all means, I love hearing questions and comments. Put them in the comment section below, because I do check them all the time, and I want to communicate with people because I'm a human. I still talk to people. That's it. Enjoy the rest of your day. And as always, remember to trust your hustle to live an unexpected life.